Like you said, we're gonna start a new series, and this is basic plumbing 101 for someone that's never seen plumbing. That's barely like was a bartender, worked at McDonald's, and now he's getting into plumbing. So if you know basic plumbing, this video is not for you. This is basic plumbing, and today's subject is a coupling. What is a coupling? You know, and then like I said, this is for a person that doesn't know what plumbing is, doesn't know what a coupling is. This is super basic because you'll be surprised. Like, how does someone not know what a coupling is? When someone's barely getting into a trade, they don't know what a coupling is. So what is a coupling? So basically, when I say I want a coupling, we want to stick two pipes, connect them together. So we need to connect them together, usually to extend or connect, and usually it's straight and of the same size. That's pretty important because they gotta be the same size. So that would be my definition of what a coupling is. Because you see these two pipes are the same size. Because if you want to connect two different pipes from different size, then you will need what we call a reducer. You see how this one is 1/2 inch and it goes in there, but we try to connect this one, it's too big. That's because that's a 1/2 by 3/4, and that's a reducer. That's not a coupling. Okay, so there's two type of couplings we kind of want to focus on, and it's you either got, all right, these two couplings are 1/2 inch and they're soldered. You see, but one of them is different. They might look exactly the same, but one of them has one thing that's different, and it's this little stop. So you see on this one, I can't push it anymore. It doesn't slip. You see that? It stops. And this is very important because this is what we would call a coupling, a regular coupling. So if we ask for a coupling and we don't say anything else, this will be what we're looking for. Because even though this one looks exactly the same, this is what we call a slip coupling. And why we call it a slip coupling? Because you can slip it. You see how it just slips through? And you'll know why we use this. And it's usually when we cut into pipes, we could just connect into it. But that's not important right now. Just know that those are the two main couplings that we're looking at. Even though they look exactly the same, they're different. And they're for different applications. So when we ask for a coupling, we usually want this coupling, the one with the little stop, unless we specifically ask for a slip coupling. And if we don't have any couplings, we could use this one. And then we're like, just if you're like, oh, we don't have the ones with the stop, well, just bring me a slip one, so we'll make it work. But this one cannot be used for this one. The stop, if I ask for a slip and we don't have a slip, we can't use this one because, well, usually there's the pipe. It's when it's a repair and the pipes we can't move the pipes. So this is when a slip coupling would just come in handy because we could put the new pipe in, mark it, and then we'll continue. This one is usually when we're just connecting pipes. Another important thing, like I said, when we're talking about couplings, all these couplings right here that you're seeing right here, all these couplings are 3/4. So when you're asking for a coupling and we're out of couplings, don't say, hey, we're out of couplings. And you don't be like, hey, we're out of 3/4 couplings. What the fuck does that mean? Because all these are 3/4 couplings. This one's a regular with the stop. This one's a slip. So what are we out of? Are we out of regular couplings, slip couplings? Are we out of Pro Press 3/4 couplings? Are we out of slip Mega Press 3/4 couplings? Are we out of regular 3/4 coupling, Mega Press couplings? That's very important. When you're saying we're out of something or we need, you gotta tell us the size first, which is 3/4. These are all 3/4. Then the type of coupling we need, which is solder. We usually call these couplings 1/2 inch coupling. If we don't say Mega Pro Press, we usually talking about the solder, Or if you have a question, be like, hey, is it solder, slip? Or like, if you don't know what coupling you're grabbing, ask. Be like, hey, what do you need? A slip, a regular coupling, a Pro Press coupling, or a Pro Press slip coupling? You need to ask those type of questions. I know it's confusing right now because there's so many. I know these are all 3/4, and there's way more type of 3/4 couplings. So you need to ask what size, what material, and then what type, because it could be It could be like, for example, this is a 3/4. It's copper, but if I ask for a copper, these are also copper. So And then you're like, well, we need a pro press. Okay, do you want a regular pro press or a slip pro press? So ask those three things and you'll always get a right. One thing, when we're doing pecs, these are not couplings, they're expansion rings. This is a coupling. This is the number one thing that people confuse. This is not a coupling, this is a ring. Sometimes they think this is the coupling. This is a pecs coupling. So this is what we ask when we're like, hey, bring a pecs coupling. This is a 1/2 inch pecs coupling. And this is expansion. So those, see what I mean when people are like, oh, it's a coupling is so simple. It's like, dude, when someone doesn't know what they're doing or barely is getting into a trade, they're probably confused watching this video. And this is the whole point of this video, because I'm having people, I have a bunch of journeymen, but I don't have apprentices, and I'm trying to teach them to understand the concept of plumbing. So see, this is not a PEX coupling, this is an expansion rings. And then, like I said, this is also a coupling. This is a 2-inch ABS coupling. So, like I said, keep it simple. When I ask for a coupling, all we're trying to do is to connect two pipes, usually straight, the same size. Because remember, if they're two different sizes, that's a reducer. That's not a coupling. And all these is very important. Later on, you'll find out when you're making a material list. You're like, hey, what do we need? You know, if you, in your head, you might be like, oh, I need a 2 by 1.5 inch coupling, but it's not called a coupling, it's called a reducer. But you put it, and I bring you a 2-inch coupling. You're like, no, I wanted one that goes 2.5 inches. Also goes back to bushing. Oh, see, we're getting confusing. So let's just take the couplings. When you want same size, a coupling is something that is straight, two pipes the same size coupling. And these are called also couplings, but we like there's a rubber out there, can't find it. But this is a no hub. And we call these are also couplings, and usually are for cast iron, and we also like to use those for repair, for waste. And this is a Fernco. This was like a slip coupling for ABS and PVC. So this is pretty much what a coupling is. So when we ask for a coupling, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect two pipes. And it's crazy how that's a 7-minute video. So like and follow for this is going to be basic plumbing 101 for someone that's never seen plumbing. Let me know what your next video of would you like to learn. Thanks. Like and follow, and make sure you like these videos, because it will motivate me to make these videos. And like I said, these videos are for people that don't know anything about plumbing.